Hello, Assalamualaikum. This is the second video for chapter 7. Okay. So in the first chapter, we already covered the half part of the chapter in the first video. Okay. So in this second video, we're going to continue until the barriers. Okay. So now we're going to see the types of control. Okay, in the first video we already see the process. Okay, how we do the control process. Okay, so the types of control, basically there are three types of control that the organization can apply for their organization. Okay, the first one is feed forward control, or we control starting from the input level. Okay, so when we do the feed-forward control, we actually anticipate the problem. So what is the feed-forward control? The control from the input level, meaning that, let's say that you want to produce a cake or food or pizza, okay, for your restaurant. Okay, so your input for your pizza gonna be, let's say that you need all these vegetables. Okay, or let's say that your finished product, the output is cake, so you might need input or ingredients such as flour, sugar, eggs, maybe fruits, okay, and so on. Okay, so meaning that before we start doing our product, before we start the process, we must have all these input or ingredients. So how to do the feed forward control? Meaning that you control in terms of input, you will make sure that all the ingredients is in the best conditions. Okay, it's not expired yet, it tastes good, it look good, and so on. So meaning that when we use the best ingredients, the output is good condition. So of course we can make sure that the end product, the product will be in absolutely look like the standard that we have set. So if we see that there are certain ingredients or inputs which is not in good condition, the color is a little bit changed, it smells bad, and so on, so we already can anticipate the problem that might happen if we continue using the input. So the first thing, the first control that we can do to make sure that our product or our product, yes, finished product, our objective, we fulfill our objective, is that we can control in terms of input, or we use the feed forward control. The second control that we can use is the concurrent control. Okay? Concurrent control, or we control during the processes. Okay, the processes that happen, we observe, we monitor the activities that done. Correct problems as they happen. Okay, so meaning that when you start doing the product, okay, when you start cooking, okay, you start baking, okay, the process when you take when you mix all the ingredients, when you start cutting all the ingredients, when you start doing the dough for your pizza, and then you will notice if there are any problems at that stage. Okay, so when you see the problem, you at that moment also you need to solve it, you need to rectify the problems, okay, to make sure that at the end product will be still be good. Okay, so meaning that concurrent control is the controlling happen during the process, whereas when you are baking, when you are doing the cooking activities, and so the last one, the last control types is feedback control, or we control in terms of output during the output, meaning that when the product already finished, okay, corrects problems after they occur, meaning that you already finished the product, okay, and you taste it, okay, or you serve it to your customer, and then you ask for the feedback from your customer, and maybe your customer said that it is good, okay, however it looks like a little bit burnt, okay, so you take that as the feedback, and then after later on for the next process, for the next product, you can help to rectify or making it, you can control it so that it won't happen like that anymore. However, the product is already finished. Okay, so sometimes when you went for to the restaurant, okay, when you want to pay, and then the when you want to pay, the cashier might ask you how's the product, how's the service, and so on. So they actually do the feedback control. Okay. Next, we want to see the characteristics of effective control system. Okay, how to make sure what is the which control, what control, whether our control is effective or not. Okay, effective meaning that when we apply this control system, control method, is it really effective in giving or fulfilling our objective. Okay, first the control must be integration with plan. You have to integrate, okay, the control process with whatever that you have planned. Okay, control should be linked with planning. Okay, the more explicit and precise these linkages, the more effective the control system, meaning that whatever that you want to achieve, you have to make sure that you control accordingly, so it will help you to achieve the objective. You cannot control everything, or you cannot control certain parts where that part cannot contribute to whatever that you plan. You have to make sure that if you said that, okay, we're gonna make 100 pizza in a day, okay, so you have to do the controlling so that it will fulfill or link with the objective. Your objective is making 100 pizza. You think that making 100 pizza in a day, and then well, you're selling more and you will get more profit, more sales. Okay, so that you want to control this thing, then it's okay. Okay, you have to make sure that wherever that you control must be linked with your objective or your planning. The second one, of course, okay, it have to be flexible, okay, meaning that the control system itself must be flexible enough to accommodate changes, okay, so that if suddenly you have to change the product, okay, you don't have the spaghetti, but you can use other pasta, okay, so that even though you change a little bit, but it's still, you can still use the same control system, the same method, okay, so you have to be flexible. Accuracy. Okay, inaccurate information will cause the organization to make a wrong decision. So when you want to control, when you want to make planning, of course you need all the information. So you have to make sure that you have enough information, you have up-to-date information, accurate information, so that when you do the controlling process, it will help you to really monitor in order for you to get the desired result. Objectivity. The control must have the objectivity. Standard set must be understandable and measurable. Okay. In the first step of the control system, okay, we already mentioned that we have to set the standard. Okay, standard of the product. Okay, the end product, okay, the finished product that we want to produce. Okay, so you have to make sure when you set the standard, you make it known. Okay, you inform everyone who involved in the process. Okay, let's say that you want to produce this pizza. Okay, so let's say this is the standard. Okay, the taste, how long you want to bake the pizza, the ingredients, the measurement of the pizza. So you have to make sure that everyone know about the standard. They taste the pizza, they see the process, they know everything, they know step by step on doing this product and so on. And you have to make sure that the standard is achievable. Okay. So of course there are barriers to control. So what are the barriers? Over control. Sometimes you control too much. Okay, organization try to control too many things. Okay, you want to control everything, which sometimes, okay, employees perceive these attempts to limit their behavior as being unreasonable. Sometimes a good employee, they have creativity on their own. Okay, so maybe you can control a little bit. Okay, so you the organization might give some space for the employee, so that when the employee happy at home at work, okay, they will be more motivated to do the task. Okay, under control. Okay, granted a lot of autonomy to individuals. Sometimes, okay, contrary to over control, sometimes there are an organization who do under control mean that they give fully authority to their employees. Okay, under control is also not good because sometimes we are lost because we didn't know the progress of our employees currently. Okay, inappropriate focus. Okay, the control system, okay, may be too narrow, or it may focus too much on quantifiable variables and leave no room or space for analysis or interpretation. That's why we have to make sure that we want to control, we want to compare, we can measure what we want to control, what we want to compare. Okay, but however, because we want to measure, okay, we always focus on measure, so we always focus on the some things or variables that we can count. Okay, it's in terms of quantity. Okay, so sometimes there are no space for other analysis or other interpretation, which sometimes the differences is acceptable. Okay, so we have to make sure that when we want to control, we want to measure the standard, it is something which is not too narrow, okay, not too broad, but however it still have the room for some changes. Okay, rewards for inefficiency. Okay, sometimes gives reward to some of the employees. Well, when you want to control, when you want to reward to the employees, you have to make sure that even though some of the employees didn't achieve the standard, okay, reach the standard that you have set, but maybe because of um, other problems or other barriers. Okay, so when you want to reward your employee, you have to make sure that your rewards is for something which is balanced with everyone. Okay, meaning that maybe because of your control which is not too narrow, okay, or to focus on quantifiable variables, where other people who also achieve the standard, however you forgot to reward them. Okay, too much accountability. Effective control allows managers to determine whether or not employees successful discharge their responsibility. Okay, because there are too much control. Okay, you all control everything. So sometimes it will take too much accountability for the manager. They have to oversee everything. Okay, which sometimes can bring more work, tasks, responsibility to the manager. Okay. So that's it for this chapter 7, controlling. So thank you very much. I hope you understand. If anything, you can always contact me. Thank you.